What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video, we are going to be going over a bunch of people's squads and we are going to be rating this. So this is today's episode of the Rate My Squad, and obviously it's this week's episode. So if you guys want me to rate your squads, tweet me at DBGYT_. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. And just tweet me with hashtag Rate My Team. Lads, at this rate, I'm getting in 200 to 250 of these a week. And honestly, if you include the probably 200 DMs I get a week, it would literally be a 24/7 job for me to review squads in the depth that I'd like to. I don't like just giving people ratings out of 10. I want to tell them how to improve the squad. And honestly, considering the fact it takes maybe 2 or 3 minutes to really go in depth on a squad, especially if I am doing it based on messages and replying to tweets, that honestly just takes too much time out of my day. So I am really sorry if I can't get to your squads, but obviously I'm trying to get you as many of these a week as I can in these videos while going into the depth that I want to go into. But yeah, so before we get on to it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to 170,000 subscribers by the end of the month. You guys killed it. We smashed the 160,000 goal 10 days into the month, which is nuts. So now we're going for 170,000. It's going to be a tough one. It is definitely going to be a tough one, but you never know. You guys might be able to hit it. So here we are. We have got this team right here. So I'm a big fan. Use the 2013 Heat playbook. Like the peekaboo with Brandon Roy and Pistol Pete. Pick and roll, pick and pop with Minute. Any suggestions on how to make the team better? Okay, let's zoom into this squad right here. Okay, so your point guard position of Caruso and Pete is fine. Your two guard of Cam Reddish and Roy is fine. Your small forwards are fine. Your power forwards are fine. Your centers are fine. So there's nothing really wrong with this team. I don't see how much MT you have. You have no MT. So honestly, for no MT, it's hard to make any suggestions. Like, maybe. I don't know. You can probably tactically downgrade Jared Dudley. As in, by tactical downgrade is a downgrade that doesn't make a difference. You can probably go and tactically downgrade Jared Dudley to Ray Allen and move Cam Reddish to 3 off the bench. And that makes the team a tiny bit worse, but saves you about 40k. But again, the team's pretty good. Like, this is probably a 7.5 out of 10 team. And yeah, in terms of value for the price you spent, it's probably a 9 out of 10. You cannot get much better for this value. Like, especially if you are well able to hit peaks of Pistol Pete. He is elite. He's elite. Maybe Caruso a little bit overpriced. You can probably tactically downgrade Caruso, but you can't get much better without going way, way more expensive. So, yeah, I'm going to say this is a pretty nice team. 7.5 out of 10. And trust me, for most people, 7.5 out of 10 is average. For me, 7.5 out of 10 is good. 5 is average. Anything below 5 is below average. 2, 1 is bad. 8 is really good. 9, 10 are exceptional squads. So this team right here. You got Wilt yesterday. You used the Heat playbook and run Hawks 2018. Okay. So you've got Harden, Roy, PG, Ingram, and Wilt. Depends. You got D-Rose, RJ, Siakam, Dino, Embiid, Beasley, Giannis, and Reddish. Okay, so I like this team. I really do like this team. I think Rose is a little bit small at the point guard position. So I'm not going to necessarily say get rid of Rose. This team is an 8.5 out of 10. It's 8 to 8.5, somewhere in that range. So the thing is with Derrick Rose that he's undersized and you don't really have a backup. So you're either got to be good at manipulating matchups, being able to switch the matchups, or replacing either one of Beasley or Giannis with Isaac Bonga. Honestly, I would say Giannis, because as great as Giannis is getting in lanes and just rim running, just being a demi, you've got Dino Raja for that. And you kind of need Beasley in there in case they sit in a zone. Actually, no, you're fine, because you can play Raja at center and Embiid a power forward to sit in a zone. So yeah, this team is pretty nice. This team is really, really nice. So yeah, this is an 8.5 out of 10. You've got everything. You don't need to make any real changes, except I would just replace somebody, whether it be Beasley or Giannis, with Bonga. But other than that, a really, really good team. Okay, so this team right here. Offense is pick and roll and peekaboo heavy. Sometimes press on defense, usually play straight up. Okay, first of all, you've got 5 million. You've got 4.5 million MT. As much as I am a big believer in tactical downgrades, that's excessive. Get Shaq. Straight up, get Shaq. I know you might not want it. Your team's pretty good. Your team's really good. This is like an 8 out of 10. However, oh no, this is an 8.5 out of 10. However, the difference is that you honestly, like, you have 4.5 million MT. Like, I'm not telling you to lose a bunch of MT, but if you spend 1 million on Shaq, your team's significantly better. Because you're peekaboo heavy, Harden and Levine are fine at the point guard. I'm not going to tell you to change that. I like your 2 guards. I like your small forwards. I actually like your power forwards. I'd just add Shaq in somewhere. Like, you don't need anyone else. Just get Shaq. Get Shaq and put him somewhere. You have 4.5 million empty. Get Shaq. This team right here is an 8.5 that becomes a 9.5 with Shaq, with just the addition of Shaq. And as much as I like Taco, and I like Siakam, and I like Dino Raja, none of them are Shaq. Okay, so I have 1 million coins. Want to spend it on Shaq though. Good decision. I wouldn't change anything. Run Hawks 2018. Do a lot of isolation, drive, and kick. Okay. So, first of all, I get it. You're trying to evo Billy Cunningham. That card sucks when he's not evoed. He's elite when he's evoed. He sucks when he's not evoed. So take him out unless you have him evoed. Okay, so you have 1 million and you want to save for Shaq. So, honestly, if you really are set on saving for Shaq, I don't think selling T-Mac's cheap now. If T-Mac was still 700k, I'd say sell T-Mac and tactically downgrade him. But no, this team's an 8 out of 10. It becomes a 9 out of 10 with Shaq. I definitely wouldn't run Brandon Roy and T-Mac together because they're 2 very, very similar cards. I would start one and bench the other. And I'd probably move Cam Reddish. I'd start one and bench the other at small forward, move Cam Reddish to small forward in your starting lineup. And then I would get rid of Billy Cunningham, just anyone. Just literally anyone. Now you can run with Ray Allen, Lance Stevenson. Billy Cunningham's just not very good. Can't speed boost, can't shoot from deep. He's not very good. Your point guards, I like your 2 point guards. I like Giannis. I don't like Giannis, but I know he's a good player. I like Kevin Porter. Actually, you have Kevin Porter. Swap him in for Billy Cunningham. Like, literally. That's all you need to do. Swap him in for Billy Cunningham. This team becomes better. I don't like Brook Lopez at all. I would replace him with Marvin Bagley straight up. Because you've already got your range extended shooter in Bamba. You don't need Brook Lopez, and Bagley's way, way better than Brook Lopez. And Lynn is fine as your third choice point guard. Rate my team. Lads, this throwback right here. Do any of you guys remember Ronnie's cheese team? Well, I sure as hell do. That video got me 80,000 views. Oh man. Good times. Good times before position locks. I just want someone to look at me the way Ronnie 2K looks at his cheese team. Like, that would be a... Look at that. Even your main promoter just knew how OP just running with cheese players was. I remember I did a gameplay with the squad, except I didn't have Pink Diamond Ewing, I had Diamond Ewing. And I literally, I destroyed everybody. No one could come close to me. I won 4 games in a row, and I was like, okay, yeah, this team is very, very OP. Then we have got this team right here. I'm no money spent and started in January. You run pick and rolls and pick and pops, willing to sell players. Okay, I don't know how much money you have. This team, wow, I can't. It's hard to give this team more than a 5 out of 10. I'm sorry. It is really hard to give this team more than a 5 out of 10. I don't know. It's a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. First of all, I like Trae Young. I do not like Trae Young in a backcourt with Pete Maravich. As much as I really do like Trae Young, him and Maravich, they're 2 similar players. Just neither of them are incredible defenders. Replace one of them. I don't mind who it is. Whichever one is your favorite, keep. But replace one of them. Jimmy's fine. Iguodala at a power forward is terrible. You have got a 6'6" power forward that can't catch a board. Dino Raja is good at center. So your players are fine. It's just the team doesn't gel. The team doesn't fit together whatsoever. Like, your second tallest player, like, your power forward's 6'6". Your power forward's basically the same height as your 2 guard. And off your bench, you've got 3 1 point guard / 2 guards in your bench, which doesn't make any sense. I'm guessing CP3 is your backup point guard, who's not very good. Like, CP3, John C. Billups, and Donovan Mitchell. I like all 3 of those cards. Jevon Carter is better than all of them. I'm trying to think who's better than all of them. Dante DiVincenzo is better than all 3 of them. Like, these cards are just outdated. These cards are and you've got Rick Fox, which means it's obviously a new lineup. So you've got a bunch of outdated cards in a lineup with a brand new card in it. So I like Rick Fox. I wouldn't play him on power forward. I like him at small forward. I like Danny Manning. I like Kevin Porter. So the 3 of those are fine. You need a shooting center in your bench. Get Mo Bamba or get Thon Maker or somebody. Like literally just a shooting center. So get rid of at least 2 of those 3, or get rid of at least 1 of those 3 point guards. Like there's no point having them all. Replace one of them with a shooting backup center. It's fine to have Shaq there as your non-shooter, but you do need a third center that can shoot. Like funnily enough, apart from maybe like Billups and Chris Paul, as much as I loved Billups back in the day, he's just outclassed. I kind of like all these players individually. Just as a collection, I just don't think they fit. I do not think these guys fit together. And for that reason, honestly, I can't give this team more than 5 out of 10. This is a tear it down and start back up again. Like, there's no individual. Like, there's so many switches. This is a tear it down. Tear it down. Now we're on to this team right here. I 5 out, run pick and roll / pop and peek off screens to point freelance. Run Josh Smith with D Rose. He can hide D Rose in defense. Fair. Run Boban the last 3 in case of Giants, and Dino in case they need a faster big. Okay, so your logic is sound. Your logic is sound with this team. Oh, I like this team. I really like this team. This is our first 9 out of 10 in a while. This is a borderline God squad. Like, I really like this team. So you've got, even though you obviously are hiding D Rose on defense, if you are really stuck, you've got Isaac Bonga that you can throw in at the point. Honestly, in a bit of a weird one, I would probably start Brandon Roy and move Barrett to the bench. This team's an 9 out of 10. You do not need to change anything. You do not need to buy anything. You do not need to change anything. The reason is that, actually no, because Derrick Rose is probably a better peak shooter than Magic Johnson. Actually no, your team's pretty structured pretty well. Yeah, this is a 9 out of 10 easily. So I like your power forward and center combos. You got height at both the positions. You got mobility at both the positions as well. I really like your small forwards and Worthy and Josh Smith. I really like your 2 guards and I really like your point guards. And then the last 3 off the bench kind of complement the team really well and fit in and kind of stop any weaknesses in the team. Man, I really like this team. Like, not quite a 9.5 or a 10. You'll see what I mean when there's a 9.5 team, and I literally think only the single best team in the game is a 10 out of 10. I don't, like, that's the way I rate it. Unless it's the literal best team in the game, I'm not going to rate it 10. But this is a nice team. This is a really, really good team. This is the best team you've seen in a couple of weeks. You don't need to make any changes, just straight up. You don't need to make any changes. And I'm pretty sure you know you don't need to make any changes. This is just a little bit of a flex. Okay. Hey, DBG, big fan. What do you think I should do to improve my squad? At 500k run Heat playbook, like to shoot peak, I'm guessing peak shots, and shoot work with Wilt on slow centers. Okay. So, first of all, congrats on the Evo for Billy Cunningham. That is not an easy thing to do. You got Luka. Luka's a great peak shooter. On your bench, I would run Bagley at the 5 and Bamba at the 4 because Bamba's not very strong and he's a bit faster. I would definitely do that. And also, if you are going for it one in, it means Bamba's the one who's spotting up from Limitless with Limitless. Just because he's smaller doesn't mean that Bagley can't play center. Bagley's fine at center. And I really like your starting 5. I really do like your starting 5. This is like an 8.7 out of 10. There's nothing really wrong with this team. You got shooters everywhere. You got guys that can burn people off the dribble everywhere. You've got a nice budget bench. Yeah, this is like a, take out Luka, and this is like a 10 out of 10 budget squad. Like, this would be 10 out of 10 budget squad if you take out Luka. But adding in Luka, who's a pretty good card, like, you can probably tactically downgrade Luka. To be completely honest, you can probably tactically downgrade him, but there's no need to. There's absolutely no need to. This team is like a solid 8.7 out of 10, I'd say. And congrats on Evo and Billy. That is not an easy thing to do. Now we are on to this team right here. So we have got this team and then 3 more. So run pick and pop and slash with D Rose and Vince. Any changes I can make. Okay, so you've got no MT. I really like your starting 5. And I really don't like your bench. I really, really don't like your bench. So your starting 5 is probably like a 9-ish out of 10. Your bench is like a 1 out of 10. 1 to 2 out of 10. First of all, Clay's glitched, so he switches on to centers. Second of all, Peja has got no clamps and a terrible release. Thirdly, that KD is terrible. Fourthly, that Bob McAdoo is terrible. Fifthly, that Sean Kemp is terrible. Sixthly, that Michael Jordan is terrible. Seventh, Ben Simmons can't shoot. And 8th, that Dan Issel is terrible. your whole there is not one card on your bench except maybe Simmons. Like, Simmons is okay. Simmons in certain situations is good. Every other player on your bench, get rid of. Just get rid of them all. I don't care if you have Clay locked in. I don't care if you have Page locked in. I don't care if you have Durant locked in, because obviously you do have them locked in because you have Clay. Get rid of them all. Honestly, going out with a bench of Dante DiVincenzo, Lance Stevenson, Ray Allen, just who at the four, Mo Bamba and Marvin Bagley. That's like, I don't know, 20k empty for that bench right there. And that's significantly better. And it's very easy to get yourself 20k empty. And if you do only run a 5-man rotation, just put Bronze on your bench. Yeah, I get it, it's overall cheating, but if you don't use your bench, there's just no point having them there. This team is a starting 5 that's a 9 out of 10, and a bench that's a 1 out of 10. So I'm going to have to give this team a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, although your starters are really good. Run 20 with the layup peekaboos with Jimmer, willing to spend 50 to 75 KMT. Would really like to not sell Clay if possible. Well, first of all, you can't sell him. And I'm sorry, I hate that Clay card. But again, if you really want to keep him, keep him. I will never, ever tell someone if they really like a card that they, not that they need to sell him, that they should be forced to sell him. If you really like a player, as I would say, if you really have fun with a player, keep them. My opinion is just my opinion. I don't deem to be this person that knows every single thing about my team. He said, I do know the fact that anyone who talks about a card being a quote-unquote good passer when every single card in the game passes the exact same, don't know anything about the game. That is the one thing I'll stand by. But, yeah, so Jimmer for peak shots is good. You say you'd like to peak, do you? Okay, so you peak. Jimmer's a great peak shooter. I like your starting 5. Got some nice height and length. And nice speed. Not the greatest defense, starting 5, not terrible. Starting 5 is probably a 7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. But 9 out of 10 budget squad. I don't think you have Bonga there anyway, so Mike Conley's getting destroyed, you have Bonga. I like Lance. I really hate Clay. I would also replace Shaq with Mo Bamba, because there's no point having 2 non-shooting centers on your bench. You should never have 2 non-shooting centers in the one team. I know you have Dino. You can probably rotate matchups. Yeah, this seems alright. It seems alright because the last 3 on the bench, if you replace Shaq and Bamba, the last 3 guys on the bench kind of cover for any of the downfalls of your team. I think replacing Clay with Wiggins might be a good shout. But other than that, it's a nice team. Yeah, this is a 7 out of 10. 6.5 to 7 out of 10. It's pretty decent. Pretty okay team. Then we have got, I play double the offense and less defense, but happy to get rid of anyone. Have 400k. Okay, so first of all, you have a bunch of lock-in rewards and 400k. Okay, so first player you need to buy is Dino Raja. Get Dino Raja. Replace Marquise Chris with Dino. Your point guards are fine. Your 2 guards are fine. Your small forwards are fine. Your power forwards, you got 2 very similar power forwards, so obviously they work for you. And one of your centers, Embiid's fine. Get rid of Chris, buy Dino. And you also have got not Marvin Bagley, you've got Mo Bamba in there. I would replace Bagley. As much as I like Bagley, doesn't really have a spot in this squad. I'd probably replace him with a range extender power forward, just so that you have a different look, like a shooter and play power forward, like even a Scalabrine. So honestly, I think Scalabrine and Raja and this team goes up to, this team right now is probably a 7.8 to 8 out of 10. And it goes up with those 2 additions, it goes up to an 8.5 out of 10. This team's really nice, especially because you have locked in a bunch of these players. So now we are on to the last squad for the video. This team right here. Use the Bucks playbook 5 out 1v1 with my centers, and run a lot of pick and pop, pick and roll with point guard and 2 guard. Any improvements? Okay, so first of all, you've got the player in the month rewards. You know you're a good player. I like Harden. I like Wall. Buddy Hield is interesting, and I'm never going to tell anyone to get rid of Buddy, because I've seen when people can shoot with Buddy. When people can shoot with Buddy, he does not miss. Your power forward center combination is perfect, and your starters and your bench. You've got this team's a perfectly structured team, and even in the situations where your team might be lacking, as in no quick first step DeRozan, or no range extender Isaac, you've got Siakam and Kevin Porter to come in, or height at the point guard position, you got Bonga. This team is a This team's an 8.5 out of 10. Not quite a 9, but it's an 8.5. It's a solid 8.5. So anyway, that is the video. These are the squads. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.